Okay. So I was working on this earlier today, and I really made some good progress on fixing the whole issue with like a catch-22 of the tin list being included in the installation of tin, but then having to update that for updating tin and also for updating and installing other packages. So I really was racking my brain last time to figure out what to do there, but I figured out something, and I actually added some extra features too. So and so I'll be releasing that tonight. But before I do that, I'm going to add a feature that I've been wanting to add that'll help with actually developing packages. So this is meant to be like kind of an all-in-one package development and package management and package importing and package installing. I wanted to kind of cover all those bases, and it's connected with Git, so that's how it works, and that's like how all like the interfacing with servers happens. I'm not doing that myself. Someone else has already done that. So what I want to do right now is create a build command, and I was thinking about it, of what to do for it, and so I'm going to implement it right now. Tin build args. Okay, now I'm going to say set what did I call it? I jotted some notes down on my phone. Just config. Config index args end, and then set files L range args 0 to n -1. If L files is equal to 0, I'll just return, actually. I won't return an error. If you don't build any files, you don't build any files. It's fine. Alright, so the config is going to be a dictionary of variables and values, but the variables have to fit a certain like expression pattern. I want it to just be capital and underscore, and I think I might do numbers too, like alphanumeric with underscore. I think I might be able to do something just do with string in Tickle. Hold on, let me pull this over. String. Let's see here. Index is alphanumer. Alnum. I think this also is word. String is class strict. I'm just gonna do some live testing here. Tickle sh is word care. Hello. Hello to hi. Okay, now I want it to also be uppercase. No, that's not what I was looking to get. There we go. I might just want to use regular expression. No. Not tickle. Just regex. There we go. This is a really handy feature. It's this website called regexer.com. I'll drop it in chat. So this is a great way to like test out regular expression stuff. And additionally, you can also like pull up the cheat sheet here so you can see let's see here. You can see all these different like keys for doing regular expressions, which is a really powerful way to do matching. And that's what I'm going to be doing for the next probably half hour here, I'd say. Nice thing is, people have already done this. So I'm just going to look up regex for alpha num uppercase. Uppercase alphanumeric. I want to launch alphanumeric. This can't be that hard. Hold on. A to Z and 0 to 9. Warning. Oh. Oh, this is for matching both numbers and letters. Yeah, that's not what I care about. Yeah, okay. So this works. So this is my regular expression. So if I do regex, regular expression, hello to, hi. I think I might be doing this the opposite way. Let me check. Regular expression. Regex. Expression then string. Okay. I always figure which one it is. So yeah, in matches, hello 2 matches to A does not match. So this is good. we're going to make sure that all of the build variables are properly formatted. So build, replace configuration variables in .tin files and write to .tcl. Arguments. We're gonna have file, tin files, and then config. Dictionary keys of config variable names and values. Okay. So I'm going to do a for each loop through the dictionary. Var name, I'll say name and value, key. That's a standard syntax. If regex key that I'm going to call this validate configuration variable names must be alpha uppercase alpha num. And that just simplifies my life. Okay. Next. Code error. Configuration or config variables must be uppercase alpha num. Okay. Validate file names for each files. If file extension file not equal to .tin and code error. Build files must be .tin. I think that's right. Hold on. I think it's file extension. Yeah. Okay. Then for each file and files, this is where it's going to get a little complicated because I'm going to read in the data from the file, and then I'm going to do some like regular substitution. Set data, or set file ID, open file for reading. Then set data read the whole file. I think yeah, I just want to avoid like substituting more than once. I think that might be built into regsub though. So let me check that. Subspec. I think I should first do a regular expression. Actually, since I'm doing out, since I have the keys are restricted to alphanumeric, I think it's fine if I just do multiple passes. Yeah, that'll be fine actually. Oh, I forgot to, yes, forgot to add the dictionary to loop over. Set data, regsub, and all. And then the expression will be at key, or it'll be like at key at, like that. And then the string is data. And I don't need to do anything with subspec. Oh. Apparently I can save copy string to the variable or return string. Okay, so I can actually just do regsub data and then data. Oh, what's the subspec? Oh, that's what to replace it with. Duh. Okay. Key list data, or list value. Just like that. And then now we're going to, so first this is read from the file. Read from file. And then perform substitution. And then we're going to write to a tickle file. Read from .tim file and write to .tickle file. Set FID, open file, root name, file .tickle, the quotes, if there's something for file there that's simpler. File. I don't think that file join will do it. Yeah, no. I mean, I can do, I just don't like using quotes. It just looks messy. String cat, file root name. So I'm gonna open a file to write. What do other people do for that? Change extension of file tickle. See what they do here. Yeah, they just use append. Let's do that. Append outfile.tcl. Open outfile. Call this 10 files. For each 10 file. It's like tickle in file. Tickle file. Read from 10 file. Right, tickle file. Close FID. Data. Close FID. Just like that. Let's see here. Configs and 10 files. Okay, go through the config, make sure that it's uppercase alphanumeric. Loop through the 10 files, make sure that their extension is 10. Loop through the 10 files again. Open. Get the data. Perform all the regular substitution. Oh, actually there is a problem here. And the problem is, you could substitute that you could like have like 10 build, I don't know, package index dot 10, and then you could have like my var, and then you could say at my var 2 and then my var 2, and then it'd be like hi, and it would first substitute this and then it would substitute that, and I wanted to just do both of them. I think to do that, I'd have to have my regular regular expression return all these tokens and then perform the substitution. I know there's a way to do it. Let's see. Reg sub. Line stop. Maybe I need to do reg exp match var. I almost need to search for all of the regular expressions and then do a reg sub at those locations. So like regex all we'll do this original one right here, and then another at symbol. So this is my regular expression. And if I plug it in here, it'd be like if I had hi. That would be a variable that would be substituted. I think this is what they do in CMake, so I'm just kind of following that pattern. I've seen it somewhere else, so I'm trying to replicate it here. Regular expression. All. Match var. What does match var do? I'll say matches. So this will store all the matches here. For each match, matches. I think I can use string map actually. Hold on. String map tickle. Mapping. String is only iterative once, or earlier key replacements will have no effect for later key matches. So ABC is replaced with 1. Earlier key replacement will know if for later key matches. I think that's what I need to do. This is a string map. That's a lot simpler anyways. String map, config. Data. Set data, string map data. I think that works no matter what. Set a list 123 dot txt. Yeah, it still works. I don't know if it's good practice though. It's probably fine. Oh, I need to add. The string map's not done here. Set mapping. At key. And then value. Get string map for big variable names. Wonderful. So here we do mapping. Mapping string. Files from .10 files. I think that's good. Now I just need to create an example tin file. I'll save the package index. I'll save as .10 and extension tickle 10. also want to make that show up in my Windows Explorer as being a Notepad++ file. Open with, I'm in another screen right now. There we go. So I have this tin file here, and then I'm gonna say project version. Just like that. So I'm gonna have it really simple to start. Open up a command window here just to test it out. sh. Let's do source tin.tickle, and let's try doing tin build package index.tin, and it's going to be project version 0.4. Oh, I didn't add to the ensemble yet, so I'll just do the full declaration thing. Config variables must be uppercase alphanumeric. Huh. I'm gonna add this really quick. Package development utilities. Package loading. Reorganizing here a little bit. If regexp. Oh, did I flip the order? I flipped the order. I always do that with regexp. I always like to put the pattern first or last. So I think that's what they do with string match and like glob and stuff. So, oh well. Let's try running this. Okay, everything works fine there. Let's run a command window here. Source tin build package index.tin, and then we're gonna do project version 0.4. Can't read file, no such variable. Ah, here we go. Tin file. Let's try this again. Well, that seemed to work. Let's see if packaging is the tickle. Why is the color all weird? It's very odd. I think it has something to do with this. Hold on. Maybe I just need to do like that. Tickle 10. Okay. So if I open up this one, if I close out, I open back up again, and then I open up. Okay, good. The other one was the default tickle colors. I don't like those. I like my own colors that I did. Fits with the vibe. Blues and purples. It's kind of my color scheme. So it looks like it did do the substitution here. So that's good. I might even make it simpler. I might just say version. So there's my tin file, and then let's take this one. Files, save as. Tin.tin. Getting really meta here. Down here, I'm just gonna say version. And then I'm gonna create a file named called build, or build.tickle maybe. Make.tickle. Source tin.tickle. And then I'm gonna say tin build tin.tin package index.tin and tinlist.tin. The installer is, I guess I can create an installer one too. Tin version. Or I could say like minor version. Like that. And then in this one I can have 0.4 minor version 0.4. Or I could even like trim it or something in the installer file. Set version. And then I could say set lib set minor, join, split or all range, split version. Could even do this right here. Version dot version dot A and B. Those are all things that can be used. Major dot minor. I guess do that. Probably easier. So then I could say set version 0.4.0, and then I could say set major zero, set minor 1, set patch 0. Version join major minor dot patch. I'm just gonna have so many versions of 10 come out that I don't want there to be like a ton of folders here. Here these have you know 1.6.8, all these things in here, but like I only really want to have it be the major and the minor. Or even just the major. No, I'll do major and minor. zero like right here, library. Version 0.4.0. Library 10 0.4. Like that. I think that's decent enough to deal with, I think. So I only have to change it here, and then I'll have to run this file. Files, save as. Now here's where, here's where I do have to add. I do have to add this. Actually, I don't. Because I can add that in the tin file itself. So I can say like 10 add 10 version, and then I can add the repo. Just like that. So that'll be right here. So this like allows you to like reinstall it if you need a fresh version. So then really in the tin list I don't have to have tin. It can just have the other packages, because it itself has itself right here. So in case you messed up your installation of 10, you can always reinstall it. Okay. So then I really don't need the tin list.tin. It's just 10.10 and package index.10. That's it. And just version. It's a very simple application. Oh, and maybe the installer. version. Set lib. I think that's the input. Make directory path. Let's try this here. The thing is, I might release like an alpha release. I might use that as a way to do unstable releases. So I'm going to automate this. Then if I'm going to automate it, and I'm going from the make tickle file here, it'd probably just be fine to just be like library 10.0.4. That's probably fine. I don't want to mess around with this. Force library. All right. So if I run this now, it will take this .10 file in and convert it to a tickle file. And it's the same with the installer.10 file and the same with the 10.10 file. Let's try that. Did I finish? Oh yeah, it's just instantaneous. So now if I open up 10.tickle, should look the same, and then has the version at the bottom here. So that's what the 10 file looks like, and then this is what the tickle file looks like. So version control handled, which is great. And then I could even like yeah, right now this like source is 10, and then it built it. So I don't think I want to include the make in the installer because I think the whole point is that I'll make it and then I'll release it and then the file will be right there. The only thing now is that I'm wondering if I should have like not just like a list of files here, but just have like a tin file and tickle file. Yeah, and then have a config. So then I'll say like set config, or I could even say like set config library like that. You could also use an array. You could say like set config library 10.0.4, and then you could use array get config. Both of those would work. So now I want to change how I'll change it here. Ooh, now this is when you're making something like this, it's difficult. I'll just save this as the tickle file. I'll start out doing it this way, and then I'll actually change it. So right now this is how it's being done, but I'm going to change it in the tin file, so that way when it updates, it'll update that as well. So instead, it'll be build tin file, tickle file, config, like that. Tin file. I might just say in file, out file. But in my examples, I'll use tin. Because right now, I mean, we're really just dealing with text files here. I don't want to prohibit people from using it for other things. In file, out file, file to read, file to write to, after substitution. Okay, don't need to validate the file name anymore. Instead, I'm just going to say, take this whole body here and read from in file. And then write to out file. This way I can have like a source file, like a source folder. Then my stuff won't be so cluttered. Okay. Oh, this can go away. Interpret input. String map, mapping data, write to out file, done. On substitution, file contents, and write to new files. Alright, so we do make.tickle, let me just try this again, so it'll be like source slash tin to tin.tickle, config, and then we're gonna go tin build, source slash package index dot tin to package index dot tickle, config. And lastly, tin build source slash installer.tickle and config. You could even have it be like it's probably fine as is, honestly. I mean, if I wanted to, I could be like set file map, and then I could put them up here. So then we like build, you have your file mapping, and then you'd have your variable mapping. Maybe like that. I think that's just too messy though. I like it a lot better this way. It's very simple. Just using the dictionary command and then just passing that to each of them. Doesn't need to be anything more than that. Okay. Did it increase in length? Okay, it looks like it added a new line. I need to prevent it from doing that. Like maybe like a read no new line here. And then there we go, that'll be better. And then I need to save these files. Put a new folder called source 10.10. Put that in there, put the installer one in there. Ooh. Okay, so that can go away. The tin list 1, 2 can go away because I don't think that adding that anymore. Yeah, it's just installer. I think I might call this install. And then have this be on the source here. Installer.tibble. I'm just gonna have this be install. Just because it's a verb, we're installing it. Close, save that. So then we make build files must be .tin. So let's fix that really quick. This is the little bit of catch-22 that happens when you're first developing something. You have to do some things manually. Tin build. Here we go. Let's delete this. Form substitution on file content. Close. Zoom out a little bit. See if this all looks good. I think that's good. Like, so you have library, make directory, tin build. Very simple things, mostly just file utilities, but specifically helpful for package development and writing of install and make scripts. I may change the idea on the actual name of the method, build method, because I want to make sure that it's not confusing with anything else that's out there. I always try to stay cognizant of that. Got a lot of good stuff here. Let's run this. Okay, ran, reload it. Add repos with tin list. Tin, add tin 0.4.0, and Baker 1/10, version 0.4.0, install. Finally provide the package. Yes, the tin list is anything additional to tin itself. Right now, the tin list is empty. Oh, never mind, it's not. Should be. Save. Delete the installer, so now we have install.tickle. I need to run install.tcl and install git. Upgrading tin is not like this anymore. It's tin update and then tin upgrade tin. install that's fine. Okay, so the readme is all good. Some reorganization. Reorganized. And added 10 build a utility for updating package versions and other settings in files. You know what? I am gonna have it on tin list. Where's tin list? File, save as, source, tin list.tipl, .10. And then on tin.tin, we're just gonna do this. So that way it gives people kind of a framework to go with. Make, so we'll add tin list to it. Tin list. Let's try this again. Make, done. Yes, that's what it looks like. Package provide tin, good. If I open up the tin list here, good. This should go away. Oh. That's why. Where's make? Install.tin, install.tin. There we go. File rename. Install.tin. Delete those. Cancel. reloaded, reloaded, good, reloaded, good, reloaded, good. Beautiful. Updates to now 10 files are in source and make tickle file converts them to .tickle files main folder. Source directory. I'm going to update the documentation. There's a similar thing where I might want to actually include this in the make as well. I can just include the patch number right in there. So I can say 10 build source I seem to remember doing something like this. So I did it at another time. I created a version .tech file. Kind of overkill. It's like I've done this before, but it was really messy, and I was like manually doing this. I almost need to create like a file within the documentation that's just a very simple, just like the version number. Template, I got formatting. I guess I could create one called like version. Because I don't want to just like, I don't want to touch this file. I want that one to like reference something else in the template. I could just have like a very simple define. Okay, so we got a blank file here. It could just be something like define, or how does it go? new command. New command, version, and then we just have this would be the end file. That's not what I meant to do. I just call it like txt or dot tech dot in. I don't want it to run. It's not supposed to run. Version dot. I guess 10 is fine, because I'm not meaning to actually run these files, even though it will show up in my IDE as tickle. It doesn't really matter. Now we're gonna really edit this one anyways. Version dot 10 doc slash version dot tech config. Just like that. And then have to have an input in here. Template slash version. And that will create the version. So I'll do version right there. So let's run the make. Couldn't write doc slash template. Template. There we go. Yeah. Beautiful. I've had ideas of what to do here, and I'm sure I'll be able to find more ways to expand this, but it's just very simple right now. It's just a very simple like string mapping. But the nice thing is when you do something like this, it's very straightforward when it's all packaged nicely. Alright. Let's run this. So now it says version 0.4.0, which is the version. And now here's where things got a little bit different. All right. Beautiful. So let's see here. Yeah, I can just pull up the main 10 file here. So I don't even have to worry about like really modifying this because, well, any final changes are going to be to 10.10. So on the part where I'm writing installation file, I'll call it package development utilities. Command link tin build. Takes an input text file and writes output text file after substitution of configuration variables, or of like build variables. Such as version. Bring that up here. A lot to do here. We're installing packages. I'm gonna move tin depend up to the top, because that goes up in installing packages. It's another way to install a package that doesn't actually force install it. It's like a soft install. I got 3 different commands for installing packages. Tin install, which just installs no matter what. Then you got tin depend, which depends that you have the package installed. If you don't, it'll try to install it. And then you have tin upgrade, which will see if there's any available packages that fit within the bounds of your it has to be better than what you have and also fit within requirement bounds. So we get there. This is all still good. This version doesn't really change the API too much. It's kind of minimal. Enough to make it another minor version change, and since we're dealing with major version 0, minor versions can change the API because it's unstable right now. So hopefully things will start to stabilize, because I'm trying to use this as a cornerstone for the rest of my packages, and also something that people can rely on for their own package development. So I want it to get to 1.0 soon, so that I can, and hopefully I wouldn't be the only person managing it, because I'm not the best person to do that. Just knowing myself, it'd be good to have someone else on board who knows that a little bit more. Especially for something that's just pivotal. I have a tendency to second guess myself. And it has good and bad side effects. Tin build file and out file and config. If you're watching, right now I'm working on some documentation, and I'm just using some LaTeX like commands that I threw together when I first started doing all this stuff. So, like this begin syntax it's a custom command in the template. Let's see here, right here. It's a T color box. Same, and then argument is a tabular. Args is a tabular environment. Just some macros. All right, so the in file is the file to read from, and just source file to read from. That out file is the final file to write to after substitution. And then the config is a dictionary of config variable names and values. Config variables must be uppercase, alpha, numeric. Also configuration. It's yelling at me for grammar, but I don't really care. Alright, so that's 10 build. Example in file. This is install foo.tin. So I'll do version. Let's do food. Okay. Example file. Building a package index. Tickle file. Okay. Begin list listing. I'll say package acquire 10. Build package index.tin package index.tickle, and it'll be like version lower. Say like package index.10. I'll do another one right here. This one would just be 1.0. See what this looks like. Oh. It did not like that. Strange. Let's build it. Okay, looks like I need let's try that. Clear inline preview, save that. And I will make that italic as well. Oh, hey, what's up, Lamster? I am doing documentation now, so things are going well. Package. Oh, the editor, like right now, the text studio. Yeah, text studio, that's what I used for my thesis when I did my master's degree. And for doing documentation, I just built macros. So it's pretty nice and giving like a consistent feel for everything. So especially with like the commands and stuff, because everything's like linked, like creates like command links and stuff. So I can, all of these are hyperlinks. So if I want to, let's see, 10 install, I'm like, oh, what's 10 install? And it takes me to 10 install. Stuff like that. It's handy. Set it up once, don't have to worry about it again. Now I'm trying to add in, yeah, and on bigger stuff, like on like the TDA stuff that I did, that I'm going to be making part of 10 once I get this thing like up and running. But that one has like hundreds of commands, and so I actually have a command index at the back, so you can actually go there and then you can like click a hyperlink and then it'll take you to the spot. So, and then has like a table of contents too that's all hyperlinked. And so yeah, LaTeX is I hesitate to say cool because it's not. It is, but it isn't. Yeah, it's all local. I did try using Overleaf and I did not like it. I didn't like it at all. So Tech Studio is pretty good from my experience. I mean, it's just text files. That's all it is. So, all right, and you get what I was doing here. Let's see, dynamic. Package development utilities. I guess this is just continuing with package development utilities. The command 10 build takes an input text file. Okay, this is for I guess I can keep it up here. And then I can just have these all on. Let's see. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. Where'd it go? It's not showing up. Why? Oh, it's the end of the because the end document's there. Of course. It's like, why is the document ending? Oh, because I told it to. It's usually like half the problems. Is that you wonder what's wrong, and it's like you told the computer to do exactly what you told it to do. So this would be package installation, package installation utilities, and then we also have section package building utilities. You sometimes wish it knew what I meant. Well, that's what ChatGPT is for. It now knows what you mean. It knows all. I don't even use it. I haven't used it yet. I mean, I sort of have like proxy through you, and I did like prompt one thing one time because someone was like, "You gotta try this out," but I don't have a subscription, and I'm not like trying to learn something right now. I'm like doing and creating, and I feel like it'd be most useful if I was like first getting into something, like first time getting into like, I don't know, web development or something. Instead, I'm developing packages of the software that I know quite well, and that, frankly, ChatGPT doesn't know very well. Not to say that can't be helpful, but in this situation specifically, I don't think it's that helpful to me. Then again, it could be wrong. Yeah, because it is confidently wrong quite a bit. Like when you're asking some stuff with HTTP, like tickle package, and it just hallucinated an option like dash SSL or something. It's like that option just doesn't exist. I mean, it's because it's operating off of statistics. It's a statistical model, and it's not like you actually feeding it in actual like hard logic of like, hey, here are the rules of the language, these need to be followed. Like it's operating off of statistical weights, just a ton of them. Like a scary amount, to the point where it's like making me question, am I just a large language model? How long until ChatGPT just becomes effectively conscious? Effectively, because you can't really know. You can't even know if you yourself are conscious. Like a multi-billion dimensional statistical model is a pretty good yeah, exactly. Like it's pretty good, and it knows way more than me. It's very broad. The knowledge is very broad. Which also is, yeah. I feel like we're at a point where it's like in Jurassic Park when they're like, they were only concerned about like seeing if they could do it. They never stopped to ask if they should. I feel like that's kind of the point we're at right now with like AI and just like everything else, honestly. Like, what are we doing? Like, can I get off the ride? Why am I strapped into this AI? Like, yeah. It only takes one person to not ask that for things to progress. Exactly. Yeah, you can't stop it. It's just like, well, I guess this is the reality now. Reality just seems to shift like every like week. So I don't know. So I'm just plugging away because I want to. I don't know. I want to make it in programming. It's kind of funny with AI coming out, but this is a way for me to get my stuff out there and to have people collaborate more easily. And oh yeah, Lampster, one thing you didn't hear last time I was streaming because I was talking about it when you weren't on. I was looking into like if there was anything existing like this with Tickle, like, and there isn't. There just isn't. There used to be. There used to be a program called Teapot, or Teacup, I think, and it had Teapot servers. Stood for like Tickle Extension Archive or something. And then the company ActiveState, which manages the open source core, or like managed distribution of the open source core for Tickle, Python, Perl, and Ruby. I think that's it. They dropped support for it, like, I don't know, like a decade ago. I don't know. It's hard to know exactly when, because I was kind of pouring through the Tickle wiki, and someone mentioned, like, yeah, they dropped support for it in, like, I think it was like Tickle 8.6 or something. Which, when was that? Version history 8.6. Tickle TK versions. History of Tickle. Yeah, Teacup used to be a thing. Like, there's still a lot of active stuff going on. I actually found out that there's a there's a conference, like a global conference going on, and they're like abstracts submitting for I think they're due in June here, and this is like conference in like Europe. And they have one every year. So apparently, like, I mean, it's still alive and well. I mean, they're coming out with right now I'm on Tickle 8.6. They just came out with Tickle 8.7, and I'm seeing rumors that Tickle 9 is coming out soon, which is kind of a big deal. I know there was some like pretty big stuff. Tickle 9 update language. The Mystical 9.0. Yeah. Let's see, where was it? Where was I? It's in status alpha right now. I need to find. I'm looking for it right now. It's hard when I'm searching Tickle stuff on the Google now, because now you have that TV company called Tickle, which is like, televisions are a little bit more popular than a niche programming language. So it's kind of like inundated the search results. You have to like specify Tickle programming language. Tickle TK 9.0. Yeah, Tickle TK roadmap. It's been like in the works for a long time. It's gonna have like full Unicode support and stuff like that. It's one of the things. Here, I'm gonna pull this over. Mystical 9.0. Because I mean, when you do a major version, it can break backwards compatibility. Where is it? This is the wiki. Sometimes it's not up to date. I think it was on. I'm trying to find where I found this, because they actually had like a list of things that they were doing actively. Maybe it might be on the tip list. I think so. Project version 9. Let's see here. Make lab, always no complaint. Yay. I mean, there's like a ton of stuff happening. Ooh, string representation of tickle list, the gory details. Oh, wonderful. Actually, no, I do not want to. These are the gory details. I'm good. Package format for tickle extensions. What's this? This is actually somewhat important for me. Oh, it looks like they have... How close were we? This is the regular expression that they use. Let's see how close we were. Okay. So, not quite, but close. So, I will update that to reflect the actual, oh, this is this is tip 55. I want to make sure this is not, for like version 9. No voting. This is informative. This is 2001. I can get like lost in this sometimes. It's just a lot to it. Let's see. So you have like 2.0. So it has to include, you have to at least have a 0.0. You have to have at least a minor version, apparently. Alpha 1. So apparently that's, like, I can't just have a single number. I can't say like package require. Well, but people do that. Hold on. Wait a minute. It allows that? How? Excuse me? Yeah, I like ours better as well. Where did I have that? Tickle tips. This was... Okay, this is for T. Yeah, this allows for double dot. Why? Yeah, I like ours a lot better. I do want to check to see one thing in that regard. If I did like package B satisfies 0, and let's say I do 0.2 alpha 4.7 or something like that. So I have like another dot afterwards. Will it permit it? Yes, it does. Even if I have another one? What if I have a beta there? Yeah, so our regex works because that's what it did. Yeah, that regex that they gave in that tip did not match. It wasn't a proposal though, and it was never voted on, so it was just a draft. So I don't see any informational things that are... No. Some of the stuff is like with TK. Tickle list 2 to the 31st elements. What's this? Extend the tickle API for list index so they can handle more than 2 to the 31st elements. That's a lot of elements. Okay, cool. Big list, yeah, seriously. So apparently that was accepted. Yeah, so some of it's like with API stuff for like C and C++. I'll add like widgets. I mean, I kind of already did this a little bit in a way. Except mine's a little different, but I have something like that. Let's see with 9.1 as well. Like they even have stuff like 9.1. Like what? Oh, add option. This is interesting. Add option to limit depth of execution step traces for procs. Yeah, this has to do with what I was doing the other day with the fly trap. I had to like put in something within the tracer procedure to check the depth and then to return if it was too deep. because it is very costly in performance. Because it traces and adds a call for every single step of the entire call stack. So, wonder if they'll actually do that. It's pending. Now, you might find this interesting, Lampster. This is something that was added. Yeah, trace severely slows it down. So Flytrap does slow things down significantly. But if you're trying to debug it, then it's worth it. That's only for enter step and leave step traces. You can also just have enter and leave traces, and those only execute at the start and end of the procedure execution. Apply. This function right here is a way to do lambdas. So there's complete lambda support, anonymous functions in Tickle, and it's when you generate a lambda, it's just, I mean, you can print it out. It's just a string, okay, but then it gets compiled into like machine code, and then it's an anonymous function. So, fun stuff. This was added, I think, only in like 8.6, so it's relatively new. And then they also added coroutine not too long ago, and like yield and yield2 and stuff. I tried diving into this. I am not very good with this sort of stuff. I don't really have an application for it. I think it's better for like actual event-driven like applications versus like a library. Because with a library, I don't really want to mess with the global environment, and this messes with the global environment because it evaluates in the global. So, but yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that was added. Those are the big ones. So like, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's added more recently with Tickle that like is actually kind of game changing. Like it adds some like functionality that's been missing. The coroutines are added in Tickle 8.6, and then I think tail call was added too. Tail call. Let's see. Tail call was added in coroutine a little bit, yeah. It's like paused evaluation. So like when you do a coroutine, it's all right. I have to remember how this works. It's not a Tickle specific thing. It's an actual like programming concept. Let's just copy this one right here. Let's copy this example. Let's have some fun here. Take a little break from the software packaging. If I run this here, I'll just throw it on my C drive here. Sandbox. Coroutine. Can I spell? Okay. So this is the output from this commander here. So you create a coroutine called accumulator, and then the command I think it's like the start of the command. Hold on. Where is it? Not this. Okay. So you specify the name of the coroutine, and then you specify the command that it's calling, and then you specify any input arguments to that command. So in this case, the coroutine is accumulator, the command is apply, and then you have this lambda. So we're actually using an anonymous function on top of it. So we're doing a coroutine and anonymous function. And all it is there's no inputs to this anonymous function. And then this is the body of the anonymous function. So you have set x to 0, you have a while loop, and then you yield a value. I'm trying to remember what this does. I know yield, it's like a return, but then it comes back. Oh, that's right. It returns the value that you yield, and then whatever value you pass to the coroutine, it then is then the return value of this. If that makes sense. So the first time it's going through here, it says yield x, and x is 0. So it returns 0 to accumulator here. And then that passes through and evaluates out, right? Oops. So this is, so I is 0, so 0 is 0. So to substitute 0 there. But then, after it's done yielding, then it then takes the 0 value and because, let's see here. Oh, the first time it yields, I don't think it actually does anything. I'm trying to remember why. How does this work? I remember what I like dove into this once, and it was a lot, but it's really powerful for some things because it allows you to like return back to where you were in a function, to like leave it, return a value, and then come back with another value. It's really crazy, and they do it in a way that like doesn't cause memory issues. I think it's the first yield. The first yield doesn't really do anything, I think. Okay. So it starts out I is 1. And then you have accumulator I. Well, I is 0 to start. So you have 0, and then you call. Yeah, it's used with iterators and stuff. So when you call it the first time, it just goes in. Huh? Maybe there's an explanation. Coroutine acts to add up the arguments passed to it. Okay, so first time it goes through, you call accumulator 0, it goes through, there's no input, and then it hits a yield 0, so it yields 0. And then it goes through I is then 1, and then it says accumulator 1, so now it spits 1 back in, because now you're back. So you go enter it first time, then you hit yield. Next time you enter at yield. And then you return, so like whatever is in here doesn't actually determine what is returned by yield. It's whatever happens when you call it again. And so then that will go into there, so now it'll be increment x1, and then it'll loop again, and then increment x, and then it says yield x, so now you just yielded 1. So now it's right here. And so then you loop again, now I is 2. Now you pass 2 back in, so now increment x2. Okay, that's what you do. Yeah. So if I were to like draw this on my screen somehow, I don't know if I can. Well, I could probably do like a screenshot. Oh, this is interesting. It's hard to do a screenshot when I have my monitor like this. Because I'm actually viewing it through OBS. So, oops. So like first you come here and you say accumulator 1, so accumulator's I is equal to 0. And then you go into this, and you come down here, and then you say yield 0, and then that value will then become the return value of this. So then you say I 0, and then you loop again, and now we have in here x is still 0, but then loop again, then you pass I, the value of I, and then that becomes the return value of yield. Yeah, it's like the yield is the bridge between the continuation of the coroutine and everything else that's happening. And then once the coroutine finishes, then the accumulator is actually destroyed. So like it'll return an error, I think, if you run out. Yeah. I think once you return, then it destroys it. There's also like yield 2, and that's even more confusing. They have one right here that I've never been able to understand. Juggler. So that value can you pass around a group of 3 coroutines that yield to each other. They're like juggling values between different procedures, like linked up. I don't know. It's wild. So that's a fun one. That's one that I've never actually... Yeah, ask GPT-4 to explain coroutines. It's like I get it, but I don't at the same time. I haven't found an actual like good use case for myself, at least. Yeah, there's a Google Groups. I'm trying to wrap my head around this. I mean, if I just search like coroutines, tickle wiki, there's like, I'm pretty sure there's like a thing about people being confused, because it's really easy to make really confusing looking things with it, because it's such a different, like, way of thinking about procedures. Like, there's like this paradigm of like a function in and out, and then this one like splits into that and like divides it, which is definitely makes your head spin. Yeah, coroutines for the dazed and confused. Yeah, so there's some like simple examples for it. It's used for iterators, mostly. So, yeah, I think coroutines is a sort of a branch of functional programming, I think. Like, I'm good with apply. I use apply a decent amount. It's pretty great. I like that I have anonymous functions in Tickle. I'm not even sure if are there lambdas in Python? Or maybe that was like a new thing. Yeah, it's lambdas in Python. When were they added? Before you started, okay. Yeah. And then apply was added to Tickle. So 2004. So it's been around for a while. Good. Oh no, like 20 years. I feel old. I was like, 2004, that wasn't that long ago, and it's like almost a couple decades now. I'm not that old. I was 8. Alrighty. Enough of that. What was I even doing? I got distracted. I was doing documentation. That's right. I want to get this stuff out. It's not you, Lamster. It's not you. It's just me. Easily distractible. Installing packages. Section. Querying in database. Okay. versions for each package in ascending order can be queried with the command versions, and the repositories associated each package and version can be queried command and link 10 repos. Let's take that out. 10 packages patterns. Name, exact version requirements. And then we're going to do... Oh, actually 10 versions I think changed. Maybe? No, still does args. And then repos is name and version. Repos, name, version. There we go. So that's to query the database and then modify. To add. Tin auto add. I think that works like that. Tin remove. How are you doing today, by the way? Nice stream. Version, no tag. Remove. There we go. Version. Repo. 30 species of birds. Wow. It is springtime. That sounds great. I did not see 30 species of birds today. I'm not sure if I saw a bird today. Oh, migration. Nice. I did go for a walk though. It was nice. It was really nice out. Took a walk and then got some pizza. Just ate a pizza, had a beer, and read a book. That was my dinner. It was great. Repository to remove optional default all associated repos. Yeah, it was like 70 degrees here. I'm like in the Chicago area, so I was very happy. I wish I had gotten out more today, honestly. But I think it's supposed to get up like 80 in Chicago. I'm gonna have to like turn on my AC, probably, or just leave the windows open. I just hope it doesn't get too hot. Like, it's not even... It's not even mid-April. It's gonna be like halfway through April, it's gonna be like 80. It's crazy. I'm gonna try to enjoy it. Maybe I'll go take a dip in Lake Michigan. Yeah, I don't like being sweaty. I don't like the extremely hot weather. That's the reason I fight against climate change. Oh, ChatGPT can finish his explanation of the repo of the coroutine. If you want to send that to me, I can. Or you can just drop it in the chat. Just drop it in the chat. Will it fit? I mean, you could send it to me like personally, but. Oh, of Juggler. Oh. No, you limited to 200 characters. Okay. If you want to drop it in my messages, here, just a second. I'll just copy it into Notepad. And then view word wrap. Table code demonstrates the use of coroutines in the yield to command to create a simple juggling pattern between three coroutines. The three coroutines represent the jugglers Larry, Curly, and Moe from the famous comedy trio, The Three Stooges. They pass a string value between them, shortening the string in each step until the string is empty. Here's a breakdown of the code. Proc, juggler, name, target, value. And then this line defines a procedure, name juggler, that takes 3 arguments. Inside the juggler procedure, we have the following code. I'll have to pull up the actual thing itself. Let's grab this here. Okay, so this is the actual code. So we first have the proc, defines, okay, inside the juggler procedure we have the following code, if value that. Checks if the value is an empty string, if it is, the following code is executed. Set value, yield info coroutine. This line sets the value variable to the result of yield. I think this is ChatGPT kind of stumbling over its words. I'm a little drunk, but like the value variable, I think it means. Oh, okay. Because the name of the variable is value. No, I am the fool. ChatGPT got it right. So this line sets the value variable, like in quotes, to the result of yield info coroutine. Yeah. The yield command is used to pause the execution of the coroutine and return the name of the current coroutine, info coroutine, to the caller. When the coroutine is resumed, yield returns the value passed to it by the caller. Okay. I understand that. I understand that intellectually, but not intuitively. While value is not equal to blank, this while loop continues as long as the value is not an empty string. So this is the first yield, and then you have a yield to target. So coroutine, the name is J1. So J1 J1 juggler procedure, name Larry, target is that, so that's what it's targeting. And then this one does the same thing, and then the last one passes it back to J1. So Larry passes to J2, which passes to, because it returns because the first yield is info coroutine, which is the name of the coroutine. So Larry passes to J2, which is curly, which passes to J3, which is Mo, which passes back to J1, which is Larry. And then Larry first passes in value of nyuk nyuk nyuk. I mean, this is a very silly example. I don't even want to keep reading this. Maybe one day I will have to use coroutines, and I'm sure it'll be great. And I'm sure it'll just open my mind to new possibilities. And the crazy thing is, I know, it seems silly here, but now, when I really think about it, there's not really any other good way to do this. There isn't a good way to do this, except for coroutines. You can't really spoof this. I think I've tried spoofing things before, and the only way you can really spoof it is, if you have a spot in the procedure to return to, and so you return, and then you have a conditional and you store it in a variable, and then when you call the function again, then it'll be if variable is was yielded or something, then you skip over all that code, then you go to the next part. That's the only way to do it, but still that's it's a very ad hoc approach and only works for one case, and this is systematically built into the programming language, and it doesn't have, you don't have to bother with local, or you don't have to bother with variables to save the state. So well, this is not what I'm working on tonight. Thank you for sending me that, though. I think I understand it a little bit better. I understand that it's shortening the stuff. Yeah. I'd have to like step through it step by step to fully get it. Okay. Documentation. Hit auto add. Let's see here. The command tin auto add. Or I'm gonna have this be separate. Third page. Section. Auto adding tags. Auto populating tin database. If your repository for your package is formatted such that the release tags are the package version numbers prefixed with V, you can use manlink tin auto add to fetch fetch up to date release tags from GitHub. Version release tags must match the following regular expression. Doesn't like that. No. So one thing I don't like about LaTeX is that sometimes things like underscores don't work very well. In this thing. over the place. Throw that in the center block. I think I used that. I created that as a shortcut for subscript, but I could probably. I don't think I'm actually using that, so. No, I'm not. I'm not using that, so. And I'm not using that either. Alright, you're right. Let's do that. That helps. There we go. Now why? Might as well do the beginning example. And then do regular. No. I don't know why it's not centered. It's okay. Okay, I also need to add upgrading and updating. Upgrade. I think upgrade has the same exact inputs as like depend or install. Name ours. Yep. It's just update that doesn't have anything. Upgrade. And then again, syntax. Command. And update. Pre-populated database of packages and versions that can be installed on GitHub. I'll say to update 10. Latest updates. Minor and patch version updates. 410. Oh, you dropped in the juggler. Oh. Maybe one that's not nested. Does this still work? Thank you. Can I pin to current? How do I pin to quick access? There you go. Mouse says nuck nuck nuck. Larry says nuck nuck nuck. Without a letter. So they keep on trimming it down. This kind of looks like one of those, like, create this triangle in Java or whatever. Mo. Hey look, I made a triangle. It's kind of satisfying, actually. Okay, our tab spacing might be different. This is on, it's just on MPP exec console. This is the Notepad++ exec, execution console. It's a plugin for Notepad++. If I ran it on, here, I'll run it, I'll run it over here. Source juggler. Yeah, that looks a little different. Yeah. It just has to do with the terminal here. Because that shows a tab. I'm not a huge fan of the console here, but it works. I just I don't like that when I'm in interactive mode on it, that it doesn't print out standard out. It doesn't like relay. I like the terminal. Alright. Yeah, well, I don't use tabs. I use 4 spaces, so. Because tabs aren't the same for everyone. So why, yeah. Okay, so right now I'm trying to do the documentation for update, for 10 update. And one of the great things about doing documentation is that whenever I do documentation, my code changes, because when I'm trying to explain it and document how to use it, oftentimes I'm like, well, this is confusing, or this doesn't really meet my objectives of what I'm looking to do with the code. So it's just like another refining process. So in the case of the update one, it's not entirely clear what it's doing. Like, I mean, it does auto add for 10. It auto adds everything. And then I call for it to do 10 upgrade 10, and then for the package requirements, I select the current version of 10. And then I require that you have that version. Exactly. So whatever the upgrade did. If it didn't upgrade, then it would just return its own value, and it wouldn't update. But I feel like not looking like I was expected to look for updates and apply the appropriate ones. Yeah. The thing is, well, there is a separate upgrade command, and that just upgrades specific. That's right here, 10 upgrade. It's different than the install command. You pick a package, and then you have version requirements. That's the same exact syntax across the entire package. So you can do the version number. If you don't choose anything, it'll just choose like the latest or the most stable version. And then it will check to see if it's installed, and it will select a version from the available versions that meets the requirements of the currently installed version. So this would prevent major version updates if you fed it its own version. Like if you were on, say, a package called Lampster. Lampster, you're on 1.5. And there was Lampster 2.5 available, or 2.1 available. It wouldn't upgrade to 2.1 because if you're like, okay, upgrade Lampster, and you just fed it nothing, well, then it would try to find which one is installed, and 1.5 is installed, and so it couldn't upgrade it because it'd be a major version upgrade. Like I want to avoid there being unexpected installations of Master's an amazing package. Actually, now that I think about it, like, because it wouldn't really matter. Because if you had one of them installed, if you had like 1.5 installed, and then you installed major upgrade should be approved, but this would just be the major. It would be an installation. So like you'd still have 1.5. Like this doesn't do. Tin does not do uninstallations. Not at this point. It's not really on my to-do list, frankly, right now, because that would be a whole other thing, and I don't even know how I'd begin to do that, because you'd have to have some sort of consistency to how packages are installed, and there isn't. There's some, but there isn't a ton. But it doesn't really matter, because with semantic versioning and how versions are controlled, require a version with all requirements. If you just require a version, say package require Lampster, it will just pick the most recent version. But if you said package require Lampster 1.5, if you have 2.5 installed, it will not load that. It will load 1.5 or 1.6 or 1.7 or 1.8, 1.9, 1.9.10. It won't install anything, or it won't load in another major version. So, if you just do package require, package name, and then a version, it's like a min bounded within the major version. So that there's no backwards compatibility that's broken. That's how you handle the dependencies, I think. But yeah, now I'm second guessing this. I mean, I think I'm on the right track here, but I think have a requirement without a version when a major update comes out. Yeah, that is true. And that is the nice thing about the upgrade thing, is that it will not do a major version upgrade and it'll update. And you can also say within, let's say if you have packages of some type that are major version 2, and you want to update whatever you have for major version 2. Upgrades for a different package? I think as long as everything's within major versions. The only thing that would get funky with it is if then you had like a dependency. Yeah, you can have both installed, and then you can upgrade both of them separately. So let's say if you had major versions 1 and major versions 2. If you said upgrade Lampster 1, it would upgrade whatever your most recent version is of Lampster version 1. It would look for and try to install an upgrade for that. If you said upgrade Lampster 2, it would look through all your versions of Lampster 2 that are installed, and it would look for an upgrade for that package. So like the major versions, it's almost like a whole new package, a whole different package. So even if there's an update available for version 3, you're gonna have to do a tin install, and then the package name and If you just do tin install in the package name, it'll install the most recent version. Otherwise, you can also specify a version number. So tin install will just install no matter what. Even if you already have it, it'll override it. So it'll do a fresh install. But tin upgrade it only does it within the bounds of what's installed. So now with update, I feel like update is supposed to update tin. It's supposed to upgrade tin. Maybe I could even have this. Like, update doesn't upgrade on tin after doing an auto add. But actually this still wouldn't allow you to get to a higher version of tin. Yeah, I just realized though this is not going to allow you to do a major version update of tin at all. And that's a problem. Because the auto add thing here will be fine. And then let's say it'll upgrade within the bounds of it. But then this tin require will then load the package. And when it loads the package, it would then clear tin. Well, you could still use tin install, but then I still have a little bit of a catch-22. I just realized that now. Yeah, you could still use tin install, but then you'd have to specify. You'd have to do tin add, and then the version, or you'd have to do another tin auto add. And I want to, since this is tin is tin, I want to like include that as a core feature that you can easily update it. Maybe like have like an option for update to like actually upgrade. Like a force update. Or like a hard update. Like a soft versus hard or something like that. Maybe do like a hard update, then it would like alternatively, I could have like special cases for tin install and tin upgrade for tin itself. So like if the name in tin upgrade is tin, then do tin auto add. I think that might be, I don't know, do you think that's, then I wouldn't want to have an extra command. I think that might be good. Well, the upgrade doesn't actually load. It doesn't actually read. No, upgrade and install. They don't actually like load the package. But update would load the package because I need to be able to load the package. Or maybe I just don't. Maybe like, it's like, oh, you don't find it? Well, then just open up a command line and do package require 10 upgrade 10. And then you're up to date. Like, I feel like rather than having to do it on the fly, and then if you wanted to like do a hard update, you do 10 install 10, and that would install the most recent version. Otherwise, it would upgrade them. I think that might be what I'm gonna do, actually. So I'm gonna have a special case for it. If name equals 10. Um, 10 auto add. Oh, I shouldn't be in this file. Hold on. Okay. I should be in the source file. If 10 no. 10 auto add. I mean, I could just also just have it be auto add. Update is just a short. It could be like 10 update, 10 upgrade, 10. I want update. If I had like a dash force option or something, then like it might like skip to the next major version. So I want update to not only, I want it to update tin, like the actual variable. But in order to do that, it has to also update the version of tin that it's on. Maybe I got an idea. My idea just left me. I mean, I could do 2 auto ads. I was thinking that the install file here would create the auto. Maybe the auto add should be like a utility for generating a tin add script. I think that might be better, because then I could include that in the install tin file here. Because I could say like set tin install tin add script. It'll be like tin auto add. And then that could actually like
generate stuff. But I want to have this in here. I'll have this in the make file. Something like that. And then in the tin list file, I could have like add script. And I'll generate. No, but I'm not running. Because a 10 add statement will only add something within the current interpreter. I could do an auto add twice, but I don't want to have to like query that twice. Especially if it didn't actually update. I think I need to go to bed. Yeah, just a little shorter stream, but I started late. Because I'm stuck again. I'm getting there, but this stuff is tricky. And I'm out of brain juice for the day, or for the night. So, I'll catch you later, Lamster. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for keeping me company. Appreciate it. And for anyone else who tuned in. So, it says I have 2 concurrent viewers, so I don't know. Weird. Just looking at my YouTube studio here. Alright, well, hey. Have a good night. Hope you hear a lot of birds tomorrow, too. So, enjoy the weather. Peace out.